Hi, and welcome back to Peekaboo Hauntings. I'll be your witchy host, Shy, and I'll be your guide to all things paranormal, weird, and spooky. I'm doing the intro after already reading these stories, and while I don't think anything can live up to the crazy story we had last week, I have to say, these are still insane in their own way. So make sure you stick around. Oh, and I'm sure you can hear, but please forgive my voice. Allergies are kicking my ass right now. So I'm a little stuffed up, but let's get right into this. This story is called I Grew Up in an 1840s Victorian house in Michigan, and some things happened there I still can't explain. Wait, did I read this one before? No, never mind. I think it was another Victorian house from up north. Anyways, let's get on to the story. Background. I grew up in a huge Victorian house in Newton Upper Falls, Michigan, near the Charles River and Echo Bridge. The area around the bridge is a deep wooded gorge, and at night it gets incredibly quiet, except for the river and the echoes under the bridge. The house was built in the 1840s by the owners of one of the local mills, back when that area was a busy mill village. The house was enormous, seven plus bedrooms spread across three floors, plus a turret room in the attic. What the hell is a turret room? Oh, I'm just stupid. It's the room in the Princess Tower, or whatever you call that tower, on the side of the Victorian house. I never knew they had a special name. I thought they were just another room in the house. I mean, they are, but you know what I mean. There were servant staircases hidden inside the walls, and a little door that led to a strange passage between parts of the house. As a kid, it felt like the place had endless hidden spaces. Oh, as a kid, I bet it was really fun, especially for playing hide and seek. The attic was one of the weirdest parts. The crumbling walls were covered in signatures and notes from the kids who had lived there over the years, names and dates going all the way back to the 1800s. Apparently, every generation of kids had gone up there and left messages. I'm not surprised. This house sounds like a fun place for kids and a nightmare for parents. So I'm not shocked at all that the kids through the years found the same place to hide in, or that they wanted to leave their mark. Behind the house, there was also an old carriage house that still had the original horse stalls and an antique carriage from the 1800s. The basement was the part that always scared me the most, though. This huge, unfinished stone foundation, and always felt cold and damp. Even during the day, it felt unsettling down there. I avoided it whenever I could. Most of the strange things I experienced actually happened on the third floor, though, where my bedroom and bathroom were, and where I spent the most time. The footsteps. I heard footsteps often growing up. I had three siblings and two dogs, and there was usually a logical explanation, even if I looked around and didn't see anyone right away. But one night in high school, I was home alone and started hearing footsteps coming from the third floor. They were slow, uneven footsteps, like someone walking from room to room. The problem was that I was the only one home. And that's when we get out or hide. Because even if this is paranormal, you never know that in the moment. And to me, the idea of it being a living person is a lot scarier than a ghost. I remember just standing there, listening, waiting for one of the dogs to react. or for one of my siblings to come around the corner. But the house was completely quiet, except for those footsteps. Eventually, I got so freaked out that I called the police because I thought someone broke into the house. I was wondering if you were ever going to do anything, because it was starting to feel like you were not bothered by the footsteps. They came and searched the entire house and the basement. They didn't find anyone. Nothing was out of place. The music. Another strange thing that used to happen on the third floor was when I showered. Whenever I was in the shower, I would hear what sounded like old music, like someone singing on an old record. But it sounded warped, almost like a record stuck repeating on a loop over and over. The weird part was that I only heard it while the shower was running. The second I turned the water off, the music would stop. Even though my first instinct, it was just the pipes or something, I'm not sure how it sounds like a record being played. That part is so weird to me. Though I guess water is known to be a conduit, so maybe it was helping amplify the phantom sounds. Whatever it is, it definitely is strange. The woman. Another night in high school, I woke up in the middle of the night and saw a woman sitting on the edge of my bed. She was just sitting there, completely still. She blinked at me a couple of times, and a shiver went down my spine. I just imagined her blinking at you like that because when she realized you could see her, it shocked her. And that shiver down your spine was just the scare of seeing a random person in your bed. I don't think it means anything bad necessarily. For a second, I thought I must be dreaming. I rubbed my eyes and looked around, and she was gone. Yeah, I don't think she expected you to see her. But I had a Tempur-Pedic mattress, and the spot where she had been sitting was still slowly rising back up, the way memory foam does after someone gets up. Are Tempur-Pedic mattresses all made of memory foam? I thought those were the ones that old people had that you can move to sit up. Is that not right? That part still freaks me out. My mom was cleaning out the rafters in the carriage house and found a dusty portrait that had clearly been stored up there for a long time. When she brought it inside and showed it to me, my stomach dropped. It was the woman I had seen sitting on the edge of my bed. Oh, I don't know for sure, but what if she wanted you guys to know she was there and knew the best way to get you to believe was to come to you before your mom found that portrait? Or maybe she made it so that your mom found it to let you know that what you saw was real. Whatever it was, she was making it clear she was real. The carriage house. The carriage house itself was already creepy, with the horses' names on little plaques, an old carriage from the 1800s, and we had even found bones in there before. The whole place always smelled like old wood and dust, and the light inside was dim even during the day. I'm not surprised that with how old this place is, it seems really creepy. Even the bones aren't strange, as long as they aren't human. The building was built onto a hill, so the back of the carriage house opened into what was basically a basement level underground. That lower level had these strange trap doors in the floor that led down into an even smaller basement space, along with some hidden passageways. The main door down there had been nailed shut, but the trap doors could still be opened. Even during the day, it felt like the kind of place you don't want to spend too much time in. Haunted or not, that place really does sound like a creepy place you don't want to be around much. One night in high school, my best friend and I had been out drinking, and a couple of guys dropped us off near the carriage house. When we got out of the car, we both looked up at the same time. In the window of the carriage house, we saw what looked like a woman's face looking out at us. One hand was up against the glass next to her face. She's probably judging you for drinking at such a young age, or just for the fact that you were out after dark with a couple of guys. She wasn't moving, just staring out. My friend immediately started yelling because she thought it was her mom following us. Her mom was extremely strict, and honestly, the kind of person who might actually do something like that. She started shouting, "Mom, what is wrong with you? Why are you following me?" We ran over to the carriage house to confront her, but when we got in there, the face was gone. No one was inside. The only thing on the window was a single handprint in the dust, exactly where we had seen the hand. My friend even called her mom right there because she was so convinced it had to have been her. Her mom was home. To this day, I still have no explanation for any of it. But growing up in that house, it never really felt like we were the only ones there. I still think about that portrait sometimes. Oh, yeah, you weren't alone in that house, ever. The people that once lived there seem to have stayed, and they seem to be keeping an eye out for you. Maybe? Either way, they seem to just be living there, just like you were. So, while it probably scared you in the moment, at least it wasn't anything actually bad going on. And what could you expect from a Victorian house? They, for some reason, almost always seem to be haunted. All right, let's move on from this haunted Victorian home to a haunted Cineplex. This story is called My Encounter with the Cineplex Ghost in Vancouver. A few years ago, I was in a Cineplex watching a movie. I believe this was shortly after the pandemic. As I was watching this movie, I saw a man wearing a top hat watching the screen. The man looked completely white and somewhat transparent. I saw the thing and I looked down at my phone to take a picture, but after loading up my camera, the ghost was gone. So I text my friend and I text my brother-in-law about what I saw. To my surprise, my friend said, "Ghosts are real, dude." And my brother-in-law said, "Ghosts seem to like movie theaters." And I had a conversation with both of them where they both acted like it wasn't all that special. That apparently seeing ghosts is a normal thing. Clearly, it's normal for them. I probably would be the same way, which is why I bet you they've seen stuff before. Not to undermine what you saw, obviously, this was your first time seeing a ghost, so I'm sure you were shocked by it. But yeah, for a lot of people, seeing ghosts is kind of normal. It felt weird. Normally, both of them dismiss all things supernatural, including ghosts. Oh, never mind. I thought they were believers. Well, shit. That is kind of weird then. You sure you were talking to the same people? But I felt like I was talking to completely different people, as they nonchalantly stated that ghosts are real, and it's common knowledge that ghosts are real. I don't know why I thought about this encounter randomly, but sometimes I think back at that message. Ghosts are real, dude. Did you ever ask them about that? Like, did they change their mind and just never talk to you about it? Or did they even send those messages? Because I've heard of spirits intersecting text messages before. Maybe that guy was using the text to make it clear you saw what you saw. Whatever the case, ghosts are real, dude. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Anyways, let's move on to our next story. It's a shorter one. It's called My Best Friend Stopped Visiting. My best friend of over 20 years died tragically last year at the age of 32. After her death, I would constantly dream about her so vividly that I would wake up surprised that she was gone and experience the grief all over again. The dreams were mostly about our everyday life, nothing profound. About a month ago, Dream Me turned to her and said, "You have to stop coming here. It's messing with my head because you're dead." She looked really hurt when I said this. I haven't dreamt about her since, and I wish I would. I don't know if this is paranormal or just grief, but I'm afraid she'll never visit again. Oh my God, your poor friend. I wonder if she was coming to you so much because she was trying to help you with your grief. You guys were friends for so long, I'd assume she loved you a lot. So her sudden death probably broke you to the core. So, of course, your best friend will want to do whatever they can to comfort you. Maybe it was helping her too. It could be why she was sad when you told her she couldn't keep coming to see you in your dreams. She knew it was time to leave, and it saddened her. Either way, even if she doesn't come back to you in your dreams, I bet she's still watching over you, even now. Well, while that one was most likely your friend visiting you, this next person doesn't believe it was their mom. This one is unsurprisingly called "It Wasn't My Mom." The other day, I was at school when I decided I would go home for my lunch period because I live less than 2 minutes away. I text my mom asking if she would pick me up some lunch. She agreed and she would mobile order Jersey Mike's, and I would have to swing by to pick it up. After my fourth period, I left school and drove to Jersey Mike's to get the order. When I pull into the parking lot, all of the spots are full, but someone has their reverse lights on, so I wait for them to leave. The car has a soccer sticker from my school's team on the right back corner, and it was a dark green Mercedes, identical to the one my mom has. The car fully pulls out of the parking space and is heading in the opposite direction as me. We are now facing each other and parallel to each other in the parking lot. I am immediately annoyed because why would my mom pick up the food if she told me to? I make an annoyed, frustrated shrug motion at her in a half joking way, and she pulls directly next to me and slows down the car. I can't see her face well due to the sun's glare on the window, but I see her sunglasses and realize that that is my mom because she is very specific on the sunglasses she likes. She smiles at me in an excited, joking way, gesturing for me to follow her, and drives away. I leave the parking lot and get caught by almost every single red light on the way to my house. It had been at least 10 minutes since the interaction when I get home and walk in frustrated because, one, I just got stuck at all of the red lights, and two, my time was just wasted because my mom got the order. I immediately call out my mom's name in a mad tone when I see her sitting on the couch watching a show. I look around for my food, and when I don't see it, I confront her for wasting my time and hiding my food. I tell her the full story, and she suggests that it was one of those glitch in the matrix type stories. She tells me that she didn't go to pick it up because she told me to do it. We eventually went back, and the food was still there. If it wasn't my mom, then who was there, and how did they have the same car all the way down to the soccer sticker on the back? How did they look identical to my mom, as far as I could tell? Do you think my mom was pranking me, or am I going crazy? Dude, I don't know if that was a glitch in the Matrix kind of thing, but I also don't know what that was. I feel like you getting stopped at every red light might have been on purpose. like someone was trying to slow you down. Because it feels weird that that person looked just like your mom all the way down to the car and was trying to get you to follow them. I just wonder what would have happened if you had called up to them. Would they have taken you back to your home? Or would they have led you off somewhere else? All I know is that whoever was making you hit every red light was looking out for you. Plus, you got the food in the end. So everything worked out. Well, guys, that's all I got for you today. If you're enjoying these, please rate and review the podcast wherever you're listening to it. And like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Oh, and if you have a story of your own you like for me to read on the podcast, send me an email. The link will be in the show notes or the description below. I'd love to hear from you guys and talk about the paranormal with you all. But for now, the covenant's adjourned. See you next time. Bye.